What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scythe. We are back in some more Trove. How y'all doing, my fellow reptilian brothers and sisters? Today, we're going to be talking about every single item you can end up currently getting out of the Season 2 Bomber Royale. We are not going to be including the Season 1 items, however, even though technically speaking, you can end up getting them out of the Season 2 box. I'm not going to risk the RNG of any of these boxes or anything like that. All they really mention is that they can end up containing the golden twin plague dragon egg rarely and stuff like that. Either way, I have other videos that already show off all the other Bomber Royale Season 1 stuff. So maybe we could save that for another time, but for the most part, I'm just going to be talking about everything that you can visually end up getting here on this page. So for starters, we're going to be talking about the Grey Wolf right here, and then also kind of skipping ahead and showing the short fuse aura. This is going to be a new aura that was added to the game, whereas this is going to be an old mount that was added to the game. And the thing that was kind of cool about these is that originally these mounts were intended as PvP rewards. So you would end up getting them out of doing capture the flag, deathmatch, and stuff like that. And that's why the PvP banners, which are pretty much useless nowadays, are actually visually apparent on these mounts. So we actually see the visual, see the banner inside the wolf's mouth. It's off if we don't actually have it equipped, so it's there if we do. And it's pretty cool that they ended up actually going that extra mile, even though the banners never really caught on. Nobody really cared about them, right? And then we're also going to skip ahead and look at the victorious Paragon Wings. So these are going to be for 100 Season 2 tokens, and they're quite expensive. The cool thing is that almost all of these items are tradable. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So that's definitely something worth keeping in mind. The wings, of course, were in Season 1 as well. And I'm pretty sure anything that you can buy again, you can end up trading, except I'm not sure on the warplane. Let me actually double check that right here. Warplane, is that tradable? No, I didn't think so. So it shan't let you buy another one, or at least it should loot collect into the appropriate amount of tokens. But either way, this is going to be the victory wings. They actually added a whole bunch of different Paragon Wings to the game. And originally, like, here's the thing that's a little bit disappointing about how cheap these wings are compared to everything else. The devs have this addiction of constantly adding new things to the game and making them more valuable than they need to be just because they're new. And so the game just keeps becoming like less and less approachable to players. Now, the only reason that I'm bringing this up is because the Paragon Wings, there's 3 different sets of them, and they were originally Paragon Wings. Paragon meaning something very, very difficult to attain. There's the red versions, the green versions, and the blue version. They're all pretty much the exact same wings outside of just being different colors. And it was something very prestigious to end up actually owning all of them, especially because getting them out of PvP was very, very difficult because of the amount of grinding that you had to do in it. Whereas now, unfortunately, because of what I just mentioned previously with the dev's addiction, you can see that right up here, there's an aura, a new aura, that is not nearly as cool as the wings, doesn't give as much mastery as the wings, and is more expensive. I don't know why they decided to do that, but it just kind of, to me, takes away the importance of an item like this. Same with the warplane as well. They made that expensive despite the fact that I don't think the warplane gives any mastery. Yeah, so it's just, there's no point in going for it outside of if you don't have everything, right? So then this is going to end up being another 2 sets of auras. This is going to be the, what do they call it? The Sorrow of Defeat and Glory of Victory. The Glory of Victory is going to be this weapon aura right here. It's a really good one. You definitely want it because it goes with a lot of characters and a lot of styles and stuff like that. And then the crying one is just, it's just kind of funny. You know, having the eyes coming out, having the tears actually coming out of your character. I remember when they added this to the game. It was pretty awesome, honestly. And then here's going to end up being the tiger, which is also going to end up using a banner, but I don't actually have a banner on my ice stage, so let me just show you right here. It's another one that's just going to end up going into the tiger's mouth, and this is just going to be a mount reskin, whereas the other one was a corgi mount reskin. That's why it was a little bit lackluster. But this one's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. You know, you can kind of see that it looks like a little kid designed it, and that's usually what happens when the devs end up designing these things, just because they're all kind of one color. That said, it's not like I dislike this mount or anything like that. I don't want to spend too much time saying like, oh, this mount's bad, it's disgusting or anything. Now, if we skip up here, this is going to be one of the new auras from Season 2 that I ended up previously talking about in another video. And then there's the dragon right there, which will show that at the end. This is going to be the Booming Brainstorm, so it's pretty expensive, but it does end up giving you 50 mastery. It's not my favorite aura just because I wish it was a little bit more consistent with the explosions, or was just a little bit more visually appealing, because it just, to me, is not that great. And I quite literally just see it as the devs recycling the new dragon's blast video effects and throwing it onto a hat aura, and it's like, oh, okay guys, whatever. So then there's going to end up being the other aura right here. This is going to be one of the newer ones. This is going to be the Cherry Bomb Burst, which is quite literally the exact same as the other aura we just saw, but of course it's pink, so why not have a higher price tag for it, right? I don't know if anyone's going to use these. Let me know in the comments, sound off in the comments if you actually think that these auras are your favorites, just because I like seeing that somebody enjoys them, because I don't know who would, you know? And I'm not saying that as a knock against any of you guys or gals that actually do like these auras. It's perfectly fine if you do, but for me, it's not as impressive as some of the other auras that we already have in the game, especially the ones that we got out of Season 1, because these ones were really cool, dude. Like, even the Tears of Joy was... Oh, wait a minute. Tears of Joy is... I messed up! I am a scrub. Oh no, there's something wrong with me. Oh man, I messed up entirely here, guys. Sorrow of Defeat is a different aura. Let me actually go grab that for you, because the Sorrow of Defeat, yeah, that's another Radiant aura, so that's another weapon aura. Yeah, there it is. So with the Sorrow of Defeat, it's got bubbles and stuff. It's not really tears or anything. It's kind of the same video effects, but not really. It feels more like a gush of water. So you can use this with, you know, if you're trying to make your character look like a water character, or having the bubble video effects and stuff like that with the bubble gunslinger costume. So it's, you know, it's definitely something worth going for, that's for sure. But anyways, this is going to be the other aura, and then this is going to end up being the other mount, which back in the day, for those of you that don't know, turtles originally were not affected by the Knight's subclass ability. However, now they actually are, so we are rocking the full 125 movement speed of my 30 power rank Knight. So that's pretty cool, because this is actually one of my favorite mounts. I really like the way that it looks. I like the blue colors, like it's just very visually appealing. You can see the banner sticking out of its butt, which I don't really like that. The other thing too is that all these turtle mounts also count as a swimming mount, so that's why you'll end up seeing the extra stats on them, which of course my face cam is blocking, but either way, that's how you could end up. The extra stats are just how it operates in the water, similarly to a boat, right? So then there's going to end up being the warplane, as well as... Do I have anything else on it? No, just the warplane. So this is going to be the warplane. It's got a banner showing up on the back of it as well. And this thing was really cool and coveted back in the day because it was extremely difficult to get. You literally, in PvP, had to spend hours waiting and grinding in order to end up getting battle boxes and XP towards your PvP. It was straight up time gated. Like, you had to go in for a set amount of time, rather than with Bomber, where it technically kind of is, because you have a limited amount of items that you, a limited amount of coins that you can end up getting from victory. But it's definitely different now, because you can just continuously grind it, whereas back then you could continuously grind it. Yeah, but it's kind of the same as Rampage challenges. Like, you would be forced to wait a very, very long time. So, of course, it's just going to end up being a rocket, fast rocket reskin. I like the video effects of the propeller on the front. That looks really cool and cute. I don't understand why there's a rocket sticking out of the back of it. I would have actually preferred it to just be a more generic plane. We ended up getting a more generic plane eventually in the Chaos Chest, though, so I can't really complain because we ended up having a nice reskin to it. We're going to skip over these banners here, guys and gals, because that's just if you would want to put it in your club world. I haven't seen that many people use these because, honestly, they're fairly plain, and the banners themselves, like, banners aren't really that cool, you know? So it's like, okay, whatever. And then there's going to be the War Painted Javelina, which is going to be this bad boy right here. And it's actually a really cool mount. Unfortunately, I have it on my Knight, so he's like really, really slow. But I really like this one. This is like, I didn't think that the Warthog was going to be as cool. I thought, oh no, a Warthog. And then it turns out it's a really cool one. And most of all, because it's been not only modded in the game, but one of my favorite modders, B_Yellow, who makes some amazing stuff. He's got a great eye. You know, he's got really good style. Which, by the way, B_Yellow, if you're watching this, I saw that you've been making some stuff for Hypixel. So the hype is real for everybody with Hypixel. Seriously, even most people in the Trove community know about it as well. So anyways, Then there's going to end up being the Mental Minefield aura, which is one of my new favorite auras just because it's actually a 3D physical model that's floating around your character. I didn't think I would enjoy this as much as I do. I think that they could end up having auras like this in the future for all sorts of things. We could have one that has the primary auras, you know, Shapestone, Infinium, and the Formosite. That's it. I didn't think that it would be as cool as it is, but most of all, I like that it draws your attention and, you know, kind of just... it just looks neat, you know, it looks like a very coveted item because of it. And then, of course, last but not least, there's going to end up being the beautiful dragon, which this dragon is cool in its own regard. It's fairly useless, and unfortunately, you can clearly see it's only got like 2 or 3 different colors going for it, which is always disappointing when the devs don't put in the extra effort of making a mount look cool. Not to say that this mount doesn't look cool. It's got you know, rockets sticking out of it. It's got bombs out of its wings and a little bit of video effects going on with it. And then otherwise a fire video effects taken from another dragon. The eyes are even taken from another dragon, which it's cool and everything like that, but I don't like that it's got no shading to it whatsoever, you know? I understand that it's supposed to be kind of mechanical in a way, but whatever. Now, this thing is actually going to shoot out Bomber Royale bombs out of its face, and with it, you can end up, as you see, we got the sticky ichor going on. Not only are these bombs going to end up bouncing, which means that this dungeon, or geez, this dragon is technically pretty useless when it comes to farming dungeons, just because you know, let's just say that we're trying to blast our way into a dungeon. The bombs are always going to end up bouncing, so it's not very good for blasting your way down into a dungeon, more so if you're just blasting straight into a wall. And even then, it could end up just bouncing right off. Now, the thing that's interesting too is Joe always makes fun of like how high they'll bounce because they end up bouncing the same distance with which they ended up landing. So they basically go twice the distance. I guess that could be useful if you're getting up to a dungeon. You could have it have holes blasted into it long before you end up getting in there. But anyways, the reason why it's cool that it uses the new bomb, or the Bomber Royale bombs, is because those ones are under the same code as these new rubber bomb styles. So we can actually change it to a Howlug and, you know, give this dragon worms, which is quite disgusting. We can also just give him the new pumpkin style of them, which unfortunately we can't use any of the other styles. You know, for the bigger bombs, because of course this dragon doesn't use them like these ones right here, because I would love to have a big bomb come out of its mouth or something. I do like the way that the sticky ichor looks, and the jack-o'-lantern is pretty cute as well. But either way, it's cool stuff for sure. One thing that I wish they would end up doing is, since they ended up reskinning the bombs, let us reskin normal bombs while we're out adventuring and stuff like that. Or better yet, rather than reskinning bombs, let us reskin the explosions. The devs have a lame excuse of saying that if they ended up reskinning the explosive video effects of bombs, players would be confused what bombs are actually damaging them. No, it's the other way around, guys. I visually look at the bomb that's coming at my face. I never look at the after effects of the explosion, because then I've already taken damage or I'm already dead. Like, that is such a logical argument for them to be saying that the reason they ended up reskinning the bombs instead of the explosion is because it would confuse players. Like, oh my gosh, I almost destroyed my cornerstone. Either way, thanks for watching, folks. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys and gals have enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to like, sub, hit that notification bell. And if you want to support me, you can always check out the affiliate link in the description. So basically, if you're a new player to Trove, you sign up with that link. And then if you end up buying stuff out of the store at any point, you'll end up throwing a percentage my way. And it does help me pay the bills. It does help my cost of living. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can always sponsor the YouTube channel, which gives you exclusive access to seeing certain videos early. Not necessarily Trove as much, just because usually Trove I'll record and upload the day of. Sometimes I'll stock up recordings and then you get to see it early, but generally it's going to be with other games, right? And then there's also going to be other links in the description to my merch store, as well as Gawkbox, which is a way you can donate for free by basically just sign up, play phone games that are set on your phone. They'll throw you free money that you can then donate in the form of stickers that show up in the videos. Either way, thanks for watching. Sign on. Stay epic.